10 minutes of our first on course. 5 minutes for our first on course. 5-minute call, top of the order. And 90 seconds out from the top of the order. If you would please wrap up your walks and clear the course. And today's $62,500 Grand Prix Qualifier, sponsored by Arthramid Vet, trusted name in veterinary medicine around the world. A joint injection that delivers a cutting-edge treatment that improves joint health in horses and dogs, including both early and late stages of synovitis and osteoarthritis. Learn more at arthramid.com. Winning round of format for the qualifier. We'll see 55 around one, top 12 returning for round two in reverse order of merit. That first round time allowed at 82 seconds as 13 numbered fences over the first round track, total of 16 jumping efforts. Hector Loyola, our course designer in the international ring this week. Julie Castle, president of the ground jury. Elena Kutanaya, our foreign judge. And completing the panel, Jenny Ross-Koning and David Dissler. Again, 82 seconds at time allowed, 55 for round one. We'll have 2 drag breaks. And the first round of competition for the Arthramid Vet CSI 3-star Grand Prix Qualifier. With the winning round format, it'll be the top 12 to come back for round number 2. And we welcome Georgina Bloomberg on course as our first to show. The U.S. rider aboard Tulana Coleman, a 15-year-old Australian warm-blooded stallion owned by Gotham Enterprises, New York City. Clear round for Georgina Bloomberg to get us underway. The two-time World Cup finalist with Tulana Coleman on a time of 78-48. Fall free from the first of our 55 combinations, round one of the Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix Qualifier. Ecuador's Diego Vivero to go second with My Girl. 12-year-old Oldenburg Gamero by Rocco Stables for the Ecuadorian are second in the order. Time allowed at 82 seconds. Reference coming in from Georgina Bloomberg at 78-48 on the clear round. Lowering the heights of 5 fences. It's a score of 20 for Ecuador's Diego Vivero with Rocco Stables' entry, My Girl. Raleigh Hyler, the next to go, the U.S. rider aboard Garfield. 9-year-old gelding owned by Kurt Hyler of Boston, Massachusetts, are third in the order for the Arthramid Grand Prix Qualifier. Reference times at 78.48 and 77.08, both completing within the 82-second time allowed. $79.47, home on a score of 16 for Raleigh Hyler and Garfield. First round time allowed remaining at 82 seconds for the Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix Qualifier. Tanner Karatkin are next to go with Kim Mark Quality Hero, owned by the Sandalwood Farms of Larchmont, New York. Number 48 ranked U25 rider, partnered with an Irish sport horse gelding by Obo's Quality. Tanner Karatkin, Kim Mark Quality Hero. Just within at 81.78. That's a clear round for Tanner Karatkin and Kim Mark Quality Hero. Two clear through the first of four. And the Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix Qualifier, Georgina Bloomberg and Tanner Karatkin, both posting penalty-free efforts. Mary Rose Canterbury now for 5C Ranch and Minerals, Houston, Texas. The U.S. rider aboard the 9-year-old gelding Delmar, 5th to show. The total for Mary Rose Canterbury and Delmar. 3 knockdowns and 1 penalty against the clock, time 82.63. That'll take us to Turkey's Selçuk Koksalan, a winner in international competition on our Thursday schedule. The ride for Layla Stables with quarters Totalis Z. $81.90 the time, just within them, but it is 3 knockdowns. 12 the score for Selçuk Koksalan with quarters Totalis Z. Georgina Bloomberg and Tanner Karakin with their 2 clear rounds through the first 6 in round 1 of the Arthramid Vet Grand Prix Qualifier. This is Great Britain's Samuel Hutton are next up, and the ride for AS Farms USA. The British athlete aboard an 11-year-old Zangers at a gelding by the name of Ambassador Z. Score of 8 for Great Britain, Samuel Hutton, and the AS Farms USA's Ambassador Z, 79.73 the time. And for Jordan, this is Ibrahim Barazi, and an entry in by Kristen Holloway of Washington, D.C. 10-year-old Dutch-bred mare Kyra and Jordanian Ibrahim Barazi. Just the 4 faults coming at 8B. Knocked down at the vertical of the Wellington International combination for the Jordanian. Riding for Kristen Holloway with the Kyra 80.95 at the time. That'll go into third early behind our 2 clears coming from Georgina Bloomberg and Tanner Karatkin. We will retone you. Freddie, just one moment. Freddie Vasquez next. The Puerto Rican rider showing a 13-year-old Dutch-bred gelding owned by Elon Furter. This is Freddie Vasquez and Hero. Just the 4 faults. Early knockdown at fence number 2 for Freddie Vasquez. And a hero on a time of 79.77. The quicker of our 4s goes into third behind our 2 clears for the Arthramid Vet Grand Prix Qualifier. 10th to show, Michaela Langmeyer with Linda Langmeyer's Giselle Innes. 11-year-old Dutch warm blood mare piloted by the number 12 ranked 25 and under rider in the world, Michaela Langmeyer and Giselle. The third rider to go clear, and the fastest of those clears. So Michaela Langmeyer moves into first place for round 1 with Linda Langmeyer's Giselle Innes at 78.16. Through 10 of the 55 for round 1, we have 3 that are clear. Michaela Langmeyer, the fastest of those. Georgina Bloomberg sitting in second in our standings. Tana Karotkin in third. That'll take us to Spain's Gonzalo Busca with Cristiano Obalinski, our 11th to show. Strancy's Mission and Kalani Stables listed as the ownership. The fastest of our clears coming in there, Spain to Gonzalo Busca and Cristiano Obolensky. The Hanoverian gelding by Cornard Obolensky, owned by the Stransky Mission Farms and Kalani Stables. Our fourth combination to go clear. The fastest of those four is going into fourth place for Arthramid Vet Grand Prix Qualifier. Other clears coming from Michaela Langmeyer, Georgina Bloomberg, and Tanner Karatkin. Freddie Vasquez, our fastest four, sitting in fifth. Chloe Reed will be our next to go with an entry from Team Reed. 12-year-old Hanoverian gelding, crossover 4 by Cascarello. $75.54 and a clear round from Chloe Reed and a crossover 4 with our fastest time over the first round track so far. So now Chloe Reed leads with the Team Reed's crossover 4 out of our 5 that are penalty free. Again with the winning round format here for our Arthramid Vet Grand Prix Qualifier. Top 12 returning. Our top 5 at this point are all clear. Chloe Reed the fastest of those with crossover 4. Daniel Cairns up next. The Irishman, winner earlier today in our Bainbridge Company's Meter 40 with the ride aboard a Dia set owned by Gotham Enterprises, a 10-year-old Hanoverian mare for Daniel Cairns. 13th to show. Chloe Reed leading with crossover 4 on a time of 75.54. Zero for jumping, 2 for time for Ireland's Daniel Cairns with the ride for Gotham Enterprises with the Dia set. 83.38 that'll go into 6th place behind our 5 that are fault free. Israel's Alberto Michan and his own joint de cannabis van de Doornhoeven. 11-year-old Dutch red gelding by cannabis, ZR 14th in the order. .78.34 with the 3 knockdowns, totaling 12 faults for Alberto Michan into joint de cannabis, van de Doornhoeven. Natalie Dean, the next to join us on course. The U.S. rider shows her marigold sport horses. The rider aboard the 12-year-old gelding Con Calma for Natalie Dean. .78.64 the time for the score. The back rail down at 8A. The faults coming jumping into the Wellington International combination for Natalie Dean with the Marigold Sport horses Con Calma. That'll go into 7th as our fastest 4 faulter. 5 it clear. Daniel Cairns on 2 penalties against the clock, sitting in 6th. We'll see 4 more before our first drag break for the Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix Qualifier. First of those 4, Alexandra Worthington with the Deloitte-Salier. Owned by Turn a Blind Eye LLC, Las Vegas, Nevada. Two-year-old French-bred gelding by Capitol d'Aragon, number 41 ranked rider in the world's 25 and under standings, Alexander Worthington de la Wasselier. Clear for Alexander Worthington, riding for Turn a Blind Eye LLC with De La Wasselier. Time 77.99. Our sixth to go clear, but that'll go into third. And our standings, Chloe Reed leading the class so far with crossover for our fastest clear at 75.54. Gonzalo Busca and Cristiano Obolensky sitting in second. First of three before the midway break, Andrew Bournes for Leslie Martin, Smithville, Ontario, with the 10-year-old stallion Prix Qualifier du Resnova. The total. Faults coming at three fences for Ireland's Andrew Bournes, riding for Leslie Martin with Prix Qualifier du Resnova. New cutoff goes into 12th place. We'll see two more before the first break. This is Bliss Hears with the Bridgeside Farms Ferreño de Mec, 10-year-old French-bred stallion, first of our two. 79.76. The four faults coming at 8A for Bliss Hears. And the entry from Bridgeside Farms, Farinjo Demet. Karen Pole will show next for the Arthramid Vet Grand Prix Qualifier. Rider representing Japan, piloting her own Celine, a 15-year-old Mecklenburg mare. Karen Pole, Celine taking us to the first drag break. Knockdowns at 6 and 13B for Karen Pole and her own Celine, the time 81.65, just missing the cutoff with the 8 faults there. Going into 13th as we head into the first drag break for the Arthramid Vet CSI 3-star Grand Prix Qualifier. Again, a winning round format for the qualifier this week, so it is the top 12 from this round returning for round number 2. So far, 6 are clear. Chloe Reed leading as the fastest of those 6 with crossover 4. Gonzalo Busca also with a clear round. Penalty-free effort coming from Alexandra Worthington, Michaela Langmeyer, Georgina Bloomberg, and Tanner Karotkin. Daniel Cairns with 2 on the clock, sitting in 7th in our standings. Natalie Dean, our fastest 4, currently in 8th. Bliss Hears, Freddie Vasquez, Ibrahim Barassi also on 4. And Samuel Hutton with Ambassador Z on the bubble currently with 8 faults on a time of 79.73. That's our top 12 at our first drag break for the Arthramid Vet CSI 3-star Grand Prix Qualifier. We'll take a little time out here to refresh the footing, and we'll be back underway in about 10 minutes.
Bainbridge is a fully integrated multifamily real estate company who have developed and acquired more than 43,000 units, representing $8.1 billion in transactions since inception. With over 650 associates nationally, Bainbridge engages in virtually every step of the real estate process, from development and construction, acquisition and disposition, asset management, and third-party management of multifamily real estate. Bainbridge is an award-winning, nationally ranked developer, owner, and builder of luxury multifamily communities across the eastern U.S. and Southeast. Our team of experienced and knowledgeable professionals is devoted to creating exceptional living experiences for all of our residents and building lasting and mutually beneficial relationships with our partners and clients. Bainbridge is headquartered in Wellington, Florida, with offices and apartment communities in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Maryland, Texas, and Virginia. To learn more, visit www.bainbridgecompanies.com.
My first goal when I decided to be a professional, it's to become like the best horsewoman I can be. It's really important for me to find a balance with my family, with the horses, that is my passion. Work with the horses every day to do what I love. I used to have like one passion was the horses, and now I have two with my daughter. So I really want to have this balance in my life. I'm Marie Ecart, I'm a professional show jumper representing France, and I'm Lola's mom. Be mindful, be present, turn on your brain.
Veterinary Products is dedicated to continuing improvement in the equine industry by developing our niche products for joints, reproduction, and surgical suite. Dekra's pipeline products include Osphos and Equidone Gel. Dekra also makes strategic acquisitions with products such as Zycosyn, Orthokine iWrap, Provit APC, Rompin, Torfidine, Sucromate Equine, and Isoflurane. Dekra will continue to make exciting advancements in the equine industry.
At Deaver Golf Cars, we bring excitement to your golf car experience. We have an extensive range of new and refurbished inventory, and our team will fulfill all your sales, service, and rental needs. Whether you're teeing it up on the course, cruising through the neighborhood, or at the campground with family and friends, we have options to fit each and every lifestyle. Experience the Deaver difference, built on a tradition of excellence and service since 1978.
When the stallion comes along, you must ship it. The trip is near and long, you must ship it. When something's going wrong, you must ship it. Now ship it. Interstate, international. Let's get it straight. Ship it good. It's not too late. Just ship it. Any day. Just ship it. Ship your horse today.
Elite Horse Transport. Just ship it.
Equine Tack and Nutritionals is your one-stop shop for all of your stable and veterinary needs. As the official horse healthcare supplier of the Winter Equestrian Festival, we invite you to stop by and take advantage of our extensive inventory, discount prices, and unparalleled customer service. You You can also shop on our website, www.equinetan.com, or stop by our store in Coconut Creek, Florida. We can also be reached at 1-800-833-TAT.
Having been a rider and showing on the East Coast in the hunter jumper worlds on the A circuit, coupled with my experience as an insurance professional with 30 years in the industry, I'm the lucky one that gets to marry my career with my passion. And at Flagler, I get the resources that I really need to do my job as best as possible. I'm Missy Sullivan, the director of the equine division at Flagler Insurance, and I look forward to helping all of you with your insurance needs.
I believe in goals. I believe in dreams. I believe in passion. Your success doesn't depend on a calendar. Your success depends on the passion that's burning inside of you each and every single day. You should not need a calendar to switch to another number for you to get motivated. If you're waiting for that to better yourself, if you're waiting for that to inspire, to be passionate, to grow, then you are setting yourself up for absolute failure.
Located in the heart of Wellington, Gold Coast Feed is your one-stop shop for all your equine needs. From top-tier feed brands to the finest quality hay and bedding, we've got everything to keep your horse thriving. Our friendly staff is always on hand to offer assistance, ensuring your horse receives the care it deserves. Need a larger delivery? We'll bring it right to your farm, unloaded and ready. It's simple, convenient service you can count on. Short on time? Order online at Gold Coast.
We've seen 19 so far, a total of 36 still to go. And we'll see another 20 before our next drag break in round one of the Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix Qualifier. Through the first 19, 6 are clear. Our 7th place combination on 2-time faults, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th on 4. And it's Great Britain Samuel Hutton and 12th sitting on the bubble with 8 faults at 79.73 with AS Farms USA's Ambassador Z. We'll pick back up with the world's number one, the USA's Kent Farrington, will be our first to show after the first drag break. Kent partnered with the 10-year-old Dutch-bred mare Canny Fee, owned by Kent Farrington LLC. 0 for jumping, just exceeding the time allowed at 82.23. It's 1 against the clock for Wills number 1. Kent Farrington with Canny Fee. That'll go into 7th. And the standings for the Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix qualifier. Top 6 clear. Kent Farrington on a single time fault goes into 7th with his own Canny Fee. Scores of 4 and better now to make it into our top 12 for round number 2. Brittany Raflowitz next for ESI Show Jumpers with the 10-year-old Belgium, or correction, with the 9-year-old stallion Commander Bond. Yeah, Brittany Raflowitz retiring with Commander Bond. Through 21, Chloe Reed leads it with crossover 4:75.54, the fastest of our 6 clear rounds so far. Our next to go, Philip McGuane, the Irishman showing for Evergate Stables aboard the 10-year-old Belgian-bred mare Paso Doble SCF. .78.07, just the 4 faults there for Philip McGuane with a Paso Doble SCF. That'll go into 9th place as our fastest 4-faulter in the first round. So to cut off now, a score of 4, a time of 79.77 with the time and the faults coming in there from Philip McGuane. It places Puerto Rico's Freddie Vasquez in our 12th spot with Elon Furter's Hero. David Blake up next. The Irishman shows for the Pine Hollow Farm. He's piloting the 11-year-old Geldinga Con Bleu. 82.69 for jumping. 1 on the clock for David Blake and the Pine Hollow Farms Corn Bleu. Missing cutoff goes into 14th. Second place rider from the $32,000 two-phase yesterday, Kristen Vanderveen with the Bull Run Jumpers Bull Runs Gyra. $78.58, that's clear for Kristen Vanderveen with Bull Runs Gyra. Goes into 6th in the first round standings for second place rider in the $32,000 two-phase yesterday. That does place a Bliss Ears now in 12th with Faringio de Mecca on the 4 faults at 79.76. That is now the cutoff to make it into the top 12 for round number 2. Chloe Reed still leads overall with crossover 4 on a clear time of 75.54. Our next to go, U.S. rider Peter Lutz, piloting for Lovsta Stuteri, is mounted 10-year-old Dutch bred mare by Kanan. This is Catriona and Peter Lutz. Clear for Peter Lutz and Loftus Daenerys Catriona. 80.27 the time. It goes into 7th in the standings. Top 8 are clear. Kent Farrington on a single time fault sits in 9th. Daniel Cairns with 2 against the clock sitting in 10th. And our 2 fastest 4 faulters, Philip McGuane and Natalie Dean, now 11th and 12th respectively. This is Venezuela's Antonio Martinez, winner for the Bainbridge Company's Meter 40 stake today. He shows his own Valdez, 12-year-old Zangazeta gelding. Antonio Martinez retiring with his own Valdez. Clear in 75.54, best effort so far. That's from Chloe Reed in crossover 4. And in 12th, our current cutoff, a score 4, time of 78.64. That's Natalie Dean sitting in that 12th spot with Con Calma. Ireland's David O'Brien to join us next with Colicini, owned by the Leap Year Farm. 11-year-old mare by Colestus. David, we will retone you here for the first round. David O'Brien and the Leap Year Farms at Colicini. Score of 8-76, 48 the time with the knockdown set 12 and 13A for Ireland's David O'Brien with the Leap Year Farms at Colicini. Chloe Reed still leads. Molly Ashcali the next to join us. Lorona, her mount. 9-year-old Dutch red mare owned by the Lewisburg Farm for the U.S. rider. Clear from Molly Ashcali and Lorona, 78-73 goes into 7th. And now it's just our fastest four-faulter rounding out that top 12. Philip McGuane with Paso Doble SCF at 78.07. Now the cutoff. Chloe Reed still leads. Gonzalo Busca second. Alexandra Worthington third. And our standings with another 11 to go before our second drag break for round number 1. So Ariani next with Jip van TNLZ, 12-year-old Zangers at a gelding, owned by San Marino Stables and the Maya Group Properties. $81.92 just makes it for Brazil's Celso Ariani with his Jip van TNLZ. That goes into 10th place for the Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix qualifier. Daniel Cairns now on the bubble on the 2-time faults with the Gotham Enterprises Dia-Set. You're trying to nickel it hurt to go next. First of 9 before our second and final midway for round 1. The ride aboard the Dutch bred mare, the 10-year-old Kathira, owned by the Chatwood Farms. Just the late knockdown today at the Palm Beach Equine Clinic combination. 13-8 down for Nicolette Hurt and Kafir, 70-36 at the time. Mexico's Rodrigo Enriquez, the next to go. Yeah, the rider aboard his own Pia Maria H, 10-year-old Belgian bred mare. Twelve the total for Mexico's Rodrigo Enriquez with his own Pia Maria H. Chloe Reed still in the lead with a crossover of 4:75.54. Our best time so far. Daniel Cairns in 12th with the Diaset with the 2 against the clock at 83.38. It'll be the USA's Heather Caristo Williams to join us next. The ride for Stephanie Bolger, Bridgehampton, New York with Contino Quick MVF. Thank you, Ryder. Courtesy fence there for Heather Krista Williams. Continua quick MVF. We'll see 7 more for a second drag break for round number 1. And today's winning round of format Grand Prix qualifier, Pablo Mejia Villa. Next, the Colombian aboard his and the new Sprint Farms Lontender. For at 8A and 1 on the clock, the time 82:08 for Colombia's Pablo Mejia Villa and Lontender. Show jumping Hall of Famer Margie Engel next with the Dicas on about the Gladewin's partners. 16-year-old Ranlin Geldinge by Diorado. Score of 8 for Marchiengo with the Dicas. Time 80.63. Swedish rider Daniel Zetterman with Carlsberg DFZ. It's a Geldinga, 10-year-old Swedish bred Geldinga by Kaladi, owned by DF Zetterman LLC. The first of our 5 before the second drag break for round 1 of the Arthramid Vet 3-star Grand Prix qualifier. $12 for jumping, 3 on the clock, a total of 15 for Daniel Zetterman with Carlsberg DFZ. 15 the total, 84.88 the time. Colombia's Roberto Terran and his own Dezuktov, the Dutch bred stallion. Sighted by Colandro, our 36th to show. First of the 4 before the midway break. For the second midway break, Chloe Reed leading with crossover 4:75.54, the best time so far. Daniel Cairns holding on to 12th with the Dia set with just the 2 penalties on the clock at 83.38. That's a cutoff. $77.18 with the 4. It is our fastest of 4. Just misses the cutoff. Goes into 13th for Roberto Terran with the Dezuktov. Ashley Bond to join us next. The rider for Israel showing an entry owned by Clearmark Equestrian, the ownership group in Rockwood, Ontario. Aboard of Vagoshin Veneta Villavec Z. 9-year-old Zingers had a Zell in by Vagabond de la Palme. .12 jumping, 7 on the clock, 88 to 36 for Ashley Bond with Vagoshin Z. Great Britain's Max Routledge up next, the first of our two before the second at drag break. The ride aboard the 8-year-old Dutch Beta Gelding, Me the Rebel, RT by Cornado Belinsky. .37, the time 8. The score for Great Britain's Max Routledge with Me the Rebel, RT. Oh, one more before second at drag break. That's Lebanon Jadana, for the Itchy Group with Hitchcock des Dames. Hitchcock and 11-year-old Belgian sport horse gelding about Marius Claudius Jadana for Lebanon, taking us to our second drag break. Clear round 75-83 for Jadana. Jad goes into second in our standings with the clear round there with Hitchcock des Dames. Chloe Reed still leads overall with crossover 475-50 for Jadana at 75-83. Goes into second in our standings. Spain's Gonzalo Busco with Cristiano Obolensky in third. 17 still to show. 11 of our top 12 are clear at this point. The world's number one, Kent Farrington, in that 12th spot with a single Tom fault at 82.23 with the Canny Fee currently holding on to the last qualifying spot for the second round in our Arthramid CSI3 3-star Grand Prix Qualifier. Equipment's headed in. Another 10 minutes. We'll be back underway with our final 17 horse and rider combinations for round one of today's $62,500 qualifier, sponsored by Arthramid Vet, a trusted name in veterinary medicine around the world. A joint injection that delivers a cutting-edge treatment that improves joint health in horses and dogs, including both early and late stages of synovitis and osteoarthritis. Learn more at arthramid.com. 16 is still to show for the Arthramid CSI3 Star Grand Prix Qualifier this afternoon. Chloe Reed leading with crossover 4:75.54, best time so far. Jadana in second with Hitchcock de Rams, and Gonzalo Busca, Cristiano Obalinski in third. Currently sitting in 12th, Kent Farrington on a single time fault with a canny fee at 82.23. As we get back underway, it's the USA's Allison Robitaille to join us. 10-year-old Holsteiner mare by Claudio, Claire de Lune, 33. Owned and is shown by the U.S. rider based in Middleburg, Virginia. Our first of our 16 remaining for the Arthramid Vet Grand Prix Qualifier. Yeah, just a knockdown at the triple bar. That's 4 faults at fence 4, 77.43. The time for Allison Robitaille with Claire de Lune, 33. USA's Blythe Crowley up next with an entry from BK Equestrian. 10-year-old Dutchman stallion Kingston by Extas. It's in the total 8 for jumping, 2 on the clock for Blythe Crowley and Kingston on a time of 83.97. U.S. rider Hillary McNerney and the 10-year-old Holstein Riscalino, the first of our 14 remaining for the first round. Got off still a one-time thought score from a world's #1 Kemp Farrington with Kenny Fee on a time of 82.23. $78.19 with the triple bar coming down on a score of 4 to finish up in the first round for Hillary McNerney and her own Riscalino. Irishman Shane Sweetenham with his and Voquest, Corian van Klapschuit Z. De 9-year-old zanger zet de gelding bij Comilfo. $75.93, just the final fence down there, 13B. The Ox are at the Palm Beach Equine Clinic combination for the world's number 16 ranked rider Shane Sweetnam with Corian van Klapschuit. Z is our fastest to 4, but it does go into 14th for the Irishman with a dozen remaining. Top 11 clear. Kent Farrington sitting in 12th with Canny Fee on a single time fault at 82.23. Third place rider from the $32,000 two-phase yesterday, Egypt's Nile Nasser. Next, the ride for Evergate Stables with the 11-year-old gelding SNL Maracana. Total of 9.8 for jumping, 1 on the clock on a time of 82.86 for Egypt's Nile Nasser with SNL Maracana. And so the knockdown at 3-1 on the clock. A score of 5 for Egypt's Nile Nasser with SNL Maracana. Another 11 on our start list for round 1 at the Arthramid Vet Grand Prix Qualifier. This is Carly Anthony for the U.S. with an entry from Portfolio Horses, a 13-year-old Dutch bred gelding, Heavenly W. Single knockdown, it's a score of 4 for the USA's Carly Anthony with Heavenly W. That time 78-35. Michael Hughes now, the U.S. rider showing for Jose Maria La Roca with the Dom Perignon. First of our 10 remaining cutoffs, still a one-time fault scored 82-23 coming from world's number 1 Kent Farrington with canny feet. Chloe Reed still leads with our best effort so far aboard crossover 4 on a time of 75-54. Michael Hughes retiring with the Dom Perignon. USA's Ansgar Holtgers Jr. Nabucco Z, the first of our 9 remaining combinations, an entry from Gut Einhaus, LLC. Clear round 78-09 for number 30 ranked U25 rider Ansgar Holtgers Jr. with Nabucco Z. That goes into 5th place in our standings with another 8 to show. And now our slowest to clear, it's also Ariane Wajit Van TNLZ in that 12th spot at 81.92. First of our 8 remaining to compete, a rider for Canada to join us on course next, piloting the 8-year-old the Dutch-bred gelding Memphis. This is Gavin Moylan for Gavin Moylan Stables. Knockdowns at 12 and 13B for Canada's Gavin Moylan. And Memphis, the time 81.01. All of our top 12 clear. Chloe Reed leading on a time of 75.54. Jadana in second. Gonzalo Busca in third. Celso Ariani on the bumble with Jip Van TNLZ. Next, we'll watch the Irishman Stephen Moore with the ride for Oakland Training and Sales aboard the 13-year-old Oldenburg Gelding and Roubaix by Diorado. Yeah, vaulting at 6 and 8A for the Irishman Stephen Moore with the India Roubaix. Entry on Oakland Training and Sales 79.66 at the time with the 8 faults for the Irishman. Clear in 81.92, the cutoff to make it into our top 12 as Captain Brian Cornon joins us at the U.S. Riders Show for the Glenby Farm with Arctic JTZ. Clear it is, 79.84 for Captain Brian Cornine and the Glenby Farms Arctica JTZ. Currently in 10th with another 5 on the start list for round 1 of the Arthramid Vet 3-star Grand Prix qualifier. That does bump Brazil's Celso Ariani, was yet Van TNLZ from our top 12. Tanner Karatkin now with that 12th spot on a time of 81.78 and clear with Kenmar Quality Hero. Chloe Reed still our top rider so far with crossover 4:75.50 for our fastest time over the round 1 track. Tysa Irwin for Australia, the first of our 5 left, riding from Michael Smith, Middleburg, Virginia, with Coberlina TN. Score of 8, 7, and 12. The 2 knockdowns in for Australia's Tysa Irwin. With Michael Smith's Coberlina TN at time 81.51 for the Olympia. Clear in 81.78, the cutoff to make it into round number 2 as Belgium's Peter de Brabander comes up next in the order. The first of our 4 remaining riders. He's showing for Martin Huygens this afternoon with the 14-year-old Danish bred gelding, first choice HT, Belgium's Peter de Brabander. The four faults coming at the final fence for Belgium's Peter de Brabander, riding for Martin Huygens with first choice, HT 8108, just the knockdown at 13B for the Belgian rider. First of three, rider from Great Britain and an 11-year-old Dutch-bred stallion. This is Jake Ward and his own Jaguar. $75.50 for the leading time, $81.78 the time to beat to make it into round two. Clear for Jake Ward and the Jaguar, 78.67 the time. That goes into ninth for the British athlete in today's Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix qualifier. That does guarantee Jake Ward a spot in the second round here this afternoon, going into ninth with the two remaining. That does bump Tanner Karotkin and Kenmar Quality Hero from our top 12, places Peter Lutz in that 12th spot with Catriona on a clear time of 80.27. First of our two still to go, Germany's Rupert Karl Winkelmann and the 12-year-old Dutch-bred gelding Immodo, owned by Eikendorf Horses. Just the four faults coming in at A of the Wellington International combination. The knockdown at 8A for Rupert Karl Winkelmann and Immodo at 75.88. Final challenger for round one, representing Canada for the Arthramid Vet CSI 3-star Grand Prix qualifier, and showing for Take the High Road LLC. Welcome Chris Pratt on course as our final competitor for the first phase of competition, showing the 9-year-old Dutchman Gelding Lollipop. We will tell you one more time here, Chris Pratt, once we clear the gate. Chloe Reed leading 75-54. As our best time, 80.27 is at the time to beat to make it into our top 12. $78.20, the two knockdowns to finish on 8 for Chris Pratt, riding for Take the High Road with the Lollipop. That was our final for the first round of the $62,500 Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix qualifier. Arthramid is a trusted name in veterinary medicine around the world, a joint injection that delivers a cutting-edge treatment that improves joint health in horses and dogs, including both early and late stages of synovitis and osteoarthritis. You can learn more at arthramid.com. We saw 55 for round one with the winning round formatted as our top 12 from this round to return all of our top 12 penalty free. It'll be Peter Lutz back first with Catriona, followed by Brian Cornon with Arctic JTZ, Molly Ashkali going third in the second round with Lorona, followed up by Great Britain's Jake Ward with the Jaguar, Kristen Vanderveen with Bull Runs at Gyra, Georgina Bloomberg to follow with Tulada Coleman. Seventh in the callback order, Michaela Langmeyer with Giselle Ines. In eighth, it'll be Ansgar Holtigers Jr. with Nabucco Z. Alexandra Worthington will be ninth in our second round order with Delois Salier, followed up by Spain's Gonzalo Busca with Cristiano Obolinski. Jadana for Lebanon with Hitchcock des Dames. And our best combination from round one, Chloe Reed with Crossover 4 in that 12th and final spot for the winning round. We'll be back underway in just about 10 minutes with our top 12 competing for top honors in today's $62,500 Arthramid Vet CSI 3-star Grand Prix qualifier. $62,500 Arthramid Vet CSI3 Star Grand Prix Qualifier back underway. Our winning round up next at 12 to return for the winning round. Our top 12 from the 55 horse and rider combinations we saw in round one this afternoon. First of our 12 riders to show in the winning round. This is the USA's Peter Lutz for Loftus Stateri with Catriona. $55.03 with 4 faults at fence number 7 for Peter Lutz and Loftus Stateri's Catriona. Second of our 12 combinations for the Arthramid winning round, Captain Brian Cornana for the Glenby Farm with Arctic JTZ. Just the Arthramid vertical at number 3 down. It's 4 faults at 58.53 for Captain Brian Cornana with Arctic JTZ on at the Glenby Farm. U.S. rider Molly Ashcalli, our third to return for round number 2, showing an entry from the Lewisburg Farm, Lorona and Molly Ashcalli. First to go clear, and our best time as well, 53.57 for the USA's Molly Ashcali, our pace setter with the Lewisburg Farms Lorona. Next to challenger Great Britain's Jake Ward with his own Jaguar. Time to beat is 53.57. Set by Molly Ashcali and Lorona. .58.03 with 4 faults. And the second round for Jake Ward and a Jaguar. Second fastest 4 goes into third place. Molly Ashcali are only double clear so far with Lorona. 53.57 is that leading time. Our next to go, Kristen Vanderveen, the U.S. rider aboard Bull Run's Gyra. New leader coming in at 52.31 at the USA's Kristen Vanderveen with the Bull Run's Gyra. Just a little over a second faster than Molly Ashcali, who goes into second with the Lewisburg Farms Lorona. Peter Lutz, the fastest of our 3-4 falters, in third with the Catriona. Sixth of our 12 to return. This is the USA's Georgina Bloomberg for Gotham Enterprises with Tulare Coal Mine. Time to beat is 52:31, set by Kristen Vanderveen and Bull Runs Gyra. At the three knockdowns over the winning round, of course, 12, the score 57.86. The time for Georgina Bloomberg with the Tulare Coal Mine. We've seen 6 of the 12 for the second round. Kristen Vanderveen leads. Molly Ashcali in second. Peter Lutz, our fastest 4 in third. Michaela Lingmeyer, our next competitor, showing an entry owned by Linda Lingmeyer of East Granby, Connecticut. This is Giselle Innes and Michaela Lingmeyer. 52:31, the time to catch. Just the Wellington International Vertical 88B down for Michaela Lingmeyer and Linda Lingmeyer's Giselle Innes, time 53:00. That goes into third place as our fastest 4 falter behind our 2 that are clear over the winning round to track. Kristen Vanderveen still leading with Bull Runs Gyra on a time of 52:31. Molly Ashcali and the Lewisburg Farms Lorona in second on a time of 53:57. First of our 5 remaining challengers, the USA's Ansgar Holtkers Jr. with the Gut Einhaus-owned Nabucco Z. Time to beat is 52:31. Score 12, 60.21 the time. That'll go into 8th for Ansgar Holtgers Jr. with Nabucco Z. Kristen Vanderveen still leads 52.31 the time to catch. It's the USA's Alexandra Worthington for Turn a Blind Eye LLC with the Deloitte-Cellier, the first of our 4 remaining for the winning round. $53.10, it's clear. It goes into second for Alexandra Worthington with the Deloitte-Cellier Turn a Blind Eye LLC entry. Piloted by the number 41 ranked U25 rider in the world. Kristen Vanderveen still leads. Alexandra Worthington goes into second at 53.10. And Molly Ashcali now in third at 53.57 with the Lewisburg Farms Lorona. Top 3 clear. Our fastest 4, Michaela Langmeyer in fourth with Giselle and S. Peter Lutz rounds out the top 5 with Catriona. First of 3 remaining, Spanish rider Gonzalo Busca with the Kalani Stables at Cristiano Obolensky. Again, that time to beat at 52.31. Goes into fourth for Spain's Gonzalo Busca and the Kalani Stables Cristiano Obolensky on a time of 53.65. Takes us to the first of our 2 remaining combinations, Lebanon Jadana with the Hitchcock des Dames. 50.73, the best time we've seen over the winning round track, but the knockdown coming front rail at number 6 for Lebanon Jadana in the Itchy Group's Hitchcock des Dames. At the time by about a second and a half, but with the 4 faults, it'll go into 5th as our fastest 4 faulter for the Lebanese athlete. And that'll take us to our final combination for the Arthramid 3-star Grand Prix qualifier. Our fastest duo from round 1 in the USA's Chloe Reed with Team Reed's crossover 4. Time to beat is 52:31. Clear for Chloe Reed and crossover for 50-8-0 for the U.S. rider to finish in second place with the Team Reed entry for the Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix qualifier. Top call will go to Kristen Vanderveen with bull runs at Gyra. Chloe Reed on a fantastic effort there in the winning round of finishing second with crossover 4. Third award will go to Alexandra Worthington with the Deloise Lier. Molly Ashkali in 4th with Lorona. In 5th, Spain's Gonzalo Busca for Kalani Stables with Cristiano Obalinski. Our fastest 4-faulter, in fact, our fastest time in the second round coming from Lebanon Jadana at 50.73. He'll take 6th award for the Itchy Group with Hitchcock des Dames. 7th for Michaela Langmeyer and Linda Langmeyer, Giselle Ines. 8th for Peter Lutz, showing for Lustus Teteria aboard a Catriona. In 9th, Jake Ward and his own Jaguar. 10th for Captain Brian Kernan, Arctic JTZ, an entry from the Glenby Farm. Georgina Bloomberg and Gotham Enterprises, Tularo Colmine. And 11th, Oscar Holtkers Jr. And 12th with Nabucco Z, owned by Gut Einhaus, LLC. Yeah, today's CSI 3-star Grand Prix qualifier is sponsored by Arthramid, a trusted name in veterinary medicine around the world. A joint injection that delivers a cutting-edge treatment that improves joint health in horses and dogs, including both early and late stages of synovitis and osteoarthritis. Learn more at arthramid.com. Third place rider back for photos, and congratulations to Alexandra Worthington, finishing 3rd this afternoon, riding for Turner Blind Eye LLC, 53:10. The time for the U.S. rider on the double clear effort in today's $62,500 competition. Bringing forward our second place rider now. This was our fastest combination from round one. The USA's Chloe Reed for Team Reed with crossover 4. Penalty free in both rounds with a 52.80 winning round at time to finish in second. And your winner taking top honors today on a time of 52.31. The USA's Kristen Vanderveen partnered with Bull Runs Gyra, besting the field in today's $62,500 Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix Qualifier. Kristen Vanderveen leading the lap of honor. Your winning rider with Bull Runs Gyra on a time of 52.31 to take the win in the $62,500 Arthramid CSI 3-star Grand Prix Qualifier. Following in second for the victory gallop, Chloe Reed with crossover 4. USA's Alexandra Worthington takes third with Deloiselier. High Junior Amateurs up next.